guys, it's Kelly Shalal, registered dietitian and blogger behind Hungry Hobby, and today I'm here. I got all the stuff out and ready because I'm about to make one of my favorite recipes, but it's not super healthy, and I know that I normally share really healthy recipes. It's not like that bad, but it's not like the healthiest recipe on my blog by any stretch of the imagination. It's actually a recipe handed down by my grandma to me. She used to make it for us all the time when we were kids. It's her no-bake peanut butter chocolate oatmeal cookies. And so that's what I'm gonna make today. And you know, right now there's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of craziness going on, and I'm not gonna go into a big rant about it, but I've seen things on both sides of the spectrum when it comes to social media, people being like, stick the course, eat healthy, and then the other people being like making jokes about how much they're binging. Okay, I don't love like the extremes in either situation. I think that if you want to have a few planned treats and it's comforting to you, intuitive eating, handling these types of situations is actually what I work with like most of the time with my clients. We do a lot of nutrition counseling, and then we do a lot of intuitive eating counseling. And so I just think that, you know, my friend Tavine says there's freedom in yes and there's freedom in no, and I 100% believe that. And I think that, you know, you should be able to enjoy a few treats during this time if it's comforting to you without relying on them as your only stress relief. So that's what I'll say about that. If you want to join me and make these freaking easy, delicious cookies that I make all the time, well, I don't make them all the time. I make them during holidays and when I want to be comforted. So they're my grandma's no-bake peanut butter chocolate oatmeal cookies. So let's get to it. So I've got a pan here, and I'm gonna turn it on. It's gonna be kind of loud and annoying because this is, you know, I can't face you in that back burner. So anyways, we're gonna turn this up here. Basically, it's so easy. So the first thing we're gonna do is add 1/2 cup of any kind of milk. Literally, that's it. And then that is, I'm using a vanilla almond milk because that's what I have in my house. Of course, grandma would have used whole milk, but I don't have any of that in my house, so I'm using almond milk, and that's a fine substitute. You can use either one. And then this is 1/2 cup butter. So there's that. You know, more omega-3s in your grass-fed butter, so that makes you feel better. We're gonna let that melt up. And then I'm gonna add 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder. And last but not least, here's the funny story about this. This is the only recipe I make in my house with white sugar. I actually texted my mother-in-law and said, do you have any white sugar? And she said, sure, but only if I could have some grandma cookies, because she knew that that's what I was making with it. Maybe that's not funny to you, but it was funny for us. So this is 2 cups of cane sugar, like just straight up white cane sugar. You could use coconut sugar or raw sugar, but then it wouldn't be how grandma made it. So you do you, okay? I don't always add all of it, depending on how adventurous I'm feeling. I don't know, what do we think? Should we add it all? Let's see. Let's bring this to a boil first. That's the first thing we've got to do, is just bring this to a boil. You know what? We're gonna go for it. There it goes. I told you it wasn't very healthy. I have made this with half the sugar. It's still plenty sweet. But I'm filming it, so I'm gonna make it the way she made it, you know? Otherwise, she would be disappointed in me. My grandma did pass away 2010 when I was a senior in college. But this is how you, cooking is one way that you leave people's legacies moving on, right? So we're gonna bring this to a boil. So once it's boiling, we need to move fast so that the sugar doesn't burn, especially since we poured in all the sugar. So her recipe was like 1 teaspoon or something of vanilla extract. That's how I do my vanilla extract. And then the recipe is very specific that you add in the oats first. So this is 3 cups of rolled oats. And I'm actually gonna turn off the heat at this point. I'm gonna leave it on the burner, but turn off the heat. Mix those oats up. And now I'm gonna add in 1/3 to 1/2 cup peanut butter. And everything should be still hot enough to melt that peanut butter right in. So here's what it looks like. Oh my God, so good. So the way that my grandma had this recipe written was she would use a sheet pan like this, buttered, and spread this mixture out over it really, really thinly, and then let it sit in the fridge uncovered, and like it would almost dry out and become like a fudge-like candy almost. We usually do 1 to 2 pans like this, and sometimes we cover it and sometimes we don't, depending on if we want like a more chewy cookie. If you leave it covered and you do thicker, it will not harden and become candy-like like how she used to serve it. So up to you. The pictures on the blog actually show it more like a chewy cookie, chewy no-bake cookie than the candy that she used to make. So to each their own. So let's get these in the pan. So you just want to spread it out really thinly, unless you want to make thicker cookies. And then, like I said, in that case, you will not spread it out thinly. You'll try and go for thicker. So that's that. So I won't make you watch me spread both of these out, but this is kind of what you're going for. And you stick that in the fridge, and then I'll show you when it's done, which will be tomorrow. So I'll be wearing something different. All right, so here we are, and you'll notice that I had 2 pans yesterday, and now I have 1 pan. So it's fair to say, safe to say, that 1 pan has already been eaten. So there's that. So I'm gonna show you guys what these look like and cut them up. So like I said, I left the cover saran wrap off the top so they would actually dry out a little bit more, which makes them even better. And the other thing I was gonna say is I often put wax paper down. That helps them like come out a little bit better, but you don't have to. I didn't this time. Mr. Hunger's like, don't you usually put wax paper down? So clearly he's a fan of the wax paper. But that's because he was eating it directly out of the spoon. So there you go, there's that. So here you go. I'll bring it in so you can see it, but it's freaking delicious. Here you go, here it is. They're seriously so good. Here's what another piece looks like. So again, I made mine kind of thin. You can make them thicker if you want, and the longer you let them dry out in the fridge, the more candy-like instead of chewy cookie-like they'll be. But either way, they're freaking delicious, and you need to make sure that you make these and enjoy Grandma's recipe. They're so good. This pan is not gonna last very long. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Enjoy, bye.